what's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Fighting Muskrats of Bluffton Tech here on EA College Football 25. We find ourselves here with a shiny 1-0 record as we win our season opener for the first time in program history. But now we get into conference play, which you would argue is the most important part of many teams, but definitely the case here at the Group of 5 level. With that being said, here we are taking on Northern Illinois, and on paper, we should have a significant advantage. We're an 81 overall team, while Northern Illinois just sits as a 74 overall. Plus, we do have one of the most dynamic wide receivers, at least at the Group of 5 level. So, we're very excited, to say the least, to get things going here in this episode, and I certainly can't wait to see what this Bluffton Tech team can do here in this first MAC game of season number 3, man. And I hope you guys are genuinely excited for today's video, man. If you are, make sure you go ahead and smack that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button as well if you happen to be brand new and you just so happen to enjoy the vibes. With that being said, let's go kick it out to DeKalb, Illinois for the start of Maction here in season number 3.
Welcome to DeKalb, Illinois, and home of the Northern Illinois Huskies, and we are looking forward to a sensational showdown that the fans have been ready for quite some time. Today, two teams set to square off in a MAC slugfest.
Alright, boys, so we go ahead and get the ball first. I want to see if we can go ahead and set a tone here. Let's go ahead and set a tone with our tailback. And look at this space by Will Peoples. Oh my goodness, he's in wide open space, but he gets hurt. Oh, he gets hurt on the first play of the game. Hopefully it's not serious because he's doing like the first down marker, but definitely just a little bit on that shaken up side. But with that being said, man, we are in Northern Illinois territory. Let's see if we can get things going here with this first drive of the game. Will Peoples, turns out, is not seriously injured, so we'll get a little bit more of a peek at JD Weeks. And listen, JD Weeks doing some good things here. Gets a nice run, gets us across the 30-yard line. Let's see if we can go ahead and continue to run this ball. This time, it's Steele. That is Samuel Steele, the custom from the year 1 recruiting class. He's a freshman redshirt, didn't see the field last year. Now getting to see the field in a meaningful way, and now he's going to be part of the first drive of the game that's going to end in a touchdown for your Bluffton Tech Fighting Muskrats. That's Javon Moore, able to win on that one-on-one right there, man. You love to see it. Javon Moore giving Bluffton Tech an early 7-0 lead. So great start here offensively. Can we have the same energy from our defense? It turns out that yes, we can. Vladi Kolesny is going to get the pick off, and now, oh my goodness, could we possibly run away with this game here early on? I mean, it provides that kind of vibe, don't it? I mean, we got to lock in here on this next drive here. I will say that. We can lock in here on this next drive, then we can definitely go to work for sure. Now, with that being said, we start the drive out 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line as DJ Armstrong getting ready to drop back. He's going to look around real quick. Doesn't love what he sees and tries to throw over the middle. Just has to get rid of it because generally that was really good coverage across the board. So, will be 3rd and long coming up. So now, 3rd and 9 coming up for Bluffton Tech as Armstrong will drop back, looks over to run inside. He wanted CJ Peaks, but it's going to be intercepted. We're going to see a couple tackles broken, and all of a sudden, Northern Illinois is going to find themselves on the scoreboard, and they are going to find themselves on the scoreboard extremely quickly as Malik Armstrong is going to answer with a 72-yard pick six, bro. Like, oh my goodness, that's the first interception that DJ Armstrong has thrown this season. And it's certainly going to hurt us here, man. It's certainly going to hurt us here for sure. So, time ball game here all of a sudden. It just goes to show, you know, no matter what the overall says, you can't take a team for granted, man. Like this is college football, and things can get wild over here for sure. Now, with that being said, we do have a 2nd and short coming up as we'll go ahead. We're just going to run it here with DJ Armstrong, able to get to the outside and just barely picks up the first down. That was actually pretty well covered, even though they were in a cover-free shell. But with that being said, we'll do another read option. I mean, Armstrong gets into the open field. We'll slide down. Could have gone for that first down, but I did not want to see my quarterback get hurt here this early into the game, or at least have those wear and tear issues. So we'll go ahead and run it here on 3rd and short. The run game has been working extremely well here so far. They don't have a lot of answers when it comes down to trying to stop the run. But with that being said, you know, just look at those adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Could have Scott McQuarrie open on the slant. We'll see if that holds up. That is not the case initially, but we'll throw it to the left-hand side, and Scott McQuarrie gonna come down with it and get out of bounds. That's his first catch of the day, going for 16 yards. So now we find ourselves back in NIU territory as we're going to go ahead and go with the read option once more. Armstrong on the inside is just a tough runner. Not necessarily a super... I would say a super mobile quarterback, but he is certainly a power runner, man. And we definitely love to see that from our, from our read option game. And CJ Peaks will also get his first catch of the day. That goes for nearly a first down, but he will mark us just shy. So, I mean, we saw how effective the running game has been today, so you already know what we're about to do. We're about to run for this first down, and we got it, and then some. That's going to provide for a 1st and goal opportunity inside the 10-yard line. As now we're going to look at the run the ball yet again. We're going to get another carry for Will Peoples, who takes the carry. He's going to cut it inside and gets very close to that end zone there. Only a couple of yards out. But look like we could put ourselves in a spot so where we could put a little bit of trickeration in here. I love this RPO here. Either the 90-speed tight end is going to get open, or we're going to have a walk-in touchdown. It's going to be the latter. We get a walk-in touchdown for Will Peoples. He does get tackled, but not until after we cross the plane. And just like that, you know, we will retake the lead against this Northern Illinois squad. As our offense, you know, we're finding a lot of rhythm. We got a lot of funk to it. Let's just got to make sure to take care of the ball, and we should be fine here today. So, that being said, Northern Illinois is going to come back in. 14-7 your score, but hey, this Huskies team, just like in real life, you know, it's got some fight to it. It definitely has some fight in this game, man. As we'll see NIU go back to work once again. They get a big throw over the middle on the cover 2, but then their tailback is also going to get some work in. They did not go to this tailback at all on the first drive of the game, but they might need to reconsider that because Jalen Poe is a stud, and we saw that on that play there. So now 1st and 10 for the 42-yard line, and sure enough, they go back to that ground game. Poe able to work his way forward for a gain of 5. Those are some hard yards for Jalen Poe, but able to make something shake there, though, as on 3rd and short, trying to pick up the first down, and while Nash Bertay able to come up and make a play, unfortunately, he doesn't get up to the line of scrimmage soon enough. So the drive will continue for NIU as the Huskies look to even things up here, possibly before the end of the quarter, throwing over to right-hand side and able to be brought down. Gibson find a good rhythm here in this first quarter after the initial interception. And we could be having some fun here on this first night of action. Already 3 touchdowns scored here in the first quarter. Could be a fun one. So now we'll go ahead and jump into the second quarter of action that we got going on, as we'll try and go ahead and get to work here on a 3rd and long. Looking over the middle, and it's going to be caught for a first down. That's Jack Applegate, the tight end for the Huskies, that's able to move the sticks for this NIU squad. And that will firmly put this team in the red zone. This will be the first red zone opportunity for the Northern Illinois Huskies today. But as we'll go ahead, we'll send a blitz here as we bail out on the run. But luckily, we lock things up on the man-to-man because the blitz actually works. It's while we send a couple of linebackers, it's actually Cade Bloom, the elder statesman at defensive tackle. He's going to be the one that's going to be able to get home and get a sack on the quarterback. So with that being said here, we'll go ahead and start our next offensive possession. Been a little bit of a feast or famine. You know, either we get a touchdown or an interception. Do see that safety is coming up, so we might have someone open either with X or R1. So we'll go ahead and check CJ Peaks into a drag route. Want to have a little bit more of a couple of hot route options, and sure enough, they do blitz, and CJ Peaks gets open, but the ball's on the ground. It's recovered by Northern Illinois. Oh my goodness, we make the right read. We make the right pre-snap adjustments. We throw in the direction of the blitz. We do everything right, and then we put the ball on the ground. Or at least so we thought. The replay booth actually takes a look at it. It turns out CJ Booth did have his knee down before we got into before the ball was actually loose. So we had the ball again. The ball was back in our hands, but very fortunate. Got to be taking better care of the ball moving forward. As we'll go ahead and throw here on 1st and 10. Gonna get it out to JD Weeks as JD is gonna have a nice little burst there. He's gonna be able to pick up some yards there, and you know, at least keep us on schedule for the 2nd down. I'm very curious, though, if we can get this screen to work, though. I haven't ran this screen yet this season. As, actually, that screen actually might have worked. I got a little greedy there. I saw CJ Peaks there. I wanted the big play. Thought he was a little bit more open, and I might have taken him out of the play by accident because I thought it was going to be a contested throw. But 3rd and 4 coming up here. We are going to make a couple adjustments. See if we have somebody get open for us. We try to throw to the left-hand side and just not a great ball to Javon Moore. So, big choice here. 4th and 4. And we're going to trot out Tommy White here for this 47-yard field goal. It's from the hash. We've been a lot better with our accuracy thus far. Let's see if he can lock in here. Looks like the kick is up. Does it have the distance? No! I thought we had the accuracy. We had the distance. Tommy White had it. But unfortunately, he hits it off the goalpost. And the field goal attempt's going to be no good. So, still going to be a 14-10 lead after all. And Northern Illinois will be looking to take the lead. Before we go into the halftime locker room, as it looks like it's going to be a run in Nash Berte's direction, somehow getting out of all of that traffic. But it looks like it's going to be a 1st down for the Huskies, as once again we will see them in the red zone. They did score a touchdown in their last red zone opportunity. We'll see if that's much of the same, as it looks like they're finding a groove here with this running game now. Definitely need to find a way to respond. 2nd and short coming up here for NIU, as the Huskies are going to try to run it up the right-hand side, as that's going to be 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. It's now 1st and goal from the 5 coming up. Huskies in the pocket, looking over to right-hand side, and able to be deflected away. Malik Moon able to be there on the coverage. Able to do some good work there on that one-on-one coverage. See if he can hold up again on an island as we have man-to-man coverage yet again. 2nd and goal from the 5. Dropping back. Evades the pressure at first and is able to throw a strike into the end zone. Touchdown, Northern Illinois. And sometimes you just got to tip your cap and just let it be known. That's an incredible play by that quarterback. Able to not panic after having pressure come up from your side. And then able to keep the feet up. Find the senior Kayshawn Pipins. And so, NIU's going to have the first lead of the day here with less than 2 minutes left here in this 1st half. So now we go ahead and see what can we do as we go ahead and get across the 2-minute warning. Is now 2nd and 10 coming up. Could have something here with Chris Gentry down this side. We'll see if it works out for us. And sure enough, we go down the middle instead, and it's going to be Javon Moore able to throw a dart. But man, they are really playing a dangerous game, pressing our receivers, because you already know when I see a press, we're going to send it past them. Touchdown, Bluffton Tech. This is why you don't press our receivers, man, because we are going to make you pay for it. Chris Gentry is a prime example of that as he finds the end zone for the touchdown. And we will, in fact, retake the lead against the Northern Illinois Huskies. But how can NIU respond? I mean, they still have all of their timeouts. They could make something shake here before we go into the halftime locker room. So definitely no time to rest there. There's a flag out onto the field. They're calling this illegal contact. Are you serious? Like, this was after the pass was thrown. I was going to try and make a tackle, and because we were sucked into the block, they called illegal contact on us. So just a genuinely bad call by the refs. Might be a little bit of a hometown call here, to be honest. But anyways, we just got to continue to keep playing hard here as NIU, they are going to run it with their quarterback. There was nobody on him, and Gibson is going to be able to slide across the 40-yard line. We had beautiful coverage downfield, just unfortunately no spy whatsoever. And in this spot, we were just caught in like a lose-lose situation. Because we had multiple receivers open in the area of the field that we were playing zone coverage on. So one of the two was going to be open. I would rather give up the corner in the middle of the field. And NIU is going to get a touchdown. NIU will end up scoring with Kyle Thomas. And so the Huskies do have the lead here yet again. Down by a field goal, 37 seconds left. We do have some time to work with. So let's see what we can do with the opportunity that is bestowed upon us, as surprisingly they're going to huddle up here. Not sure if it was because we called a timeout or they called a timeout. Didn't see a timeout animation, but I do see Chris Gentry here. Let's see if we can make something shake. He does have some safety help, so we go back to the right-hand side, and it's cut off. It is cut off at the last second. We thought we were going to have Javon Moore there. But as soon as I saw 29 creep up, that's why I user controlled him, because I wanted to try to prevent what I thought was going to happen. Sure enough, I let our guys down, and DJ Armstrong going to throw an interception to Malik Armstrong, who has his second turnover of the game. Malik Armstrong been a game breaker for the NIU defense. And it also sets up a chance for NIU to find the end zone possibly one more time here before we go into the halftime locker room. So a big moment here where if you really want to get an upset to happen, this is how you would do it. Looking over to right-hand side, and it was a dot. It was definitely a dot, but thankfully Porter Lanestrade was there to break that pass up. So now it's going to be second and goal here from the 4-yard line. Gibbs in the shotgun, looking over to right-hand side, and he's going to drop it into the end zone. Another touchdown for NIU. And the turnovers have been big. Matter of fact, I would go on a ledge and say the turnovers have been the difference in this game so far. Take away all the turnovers, and we actually would have the lead. But instead, we go into halftime down by 10. Been an exciting one here in DeKalb, Illinois, but it just goes to show, just because we played well against a superior team last week, doesn't mean that one of these lesser overall teams can beat you on any given Saturday. And we're finding that out the hard way for sure, as we find ourselves down by 10 at the half. And here's the thing, too. NIU gets the ball to start the second half as well. So you think that last drive that we have before we went into halftime was huge? This is certainly going to be a huge drive here as well, as we are looking at a chance for NIU to make this a 17-point game before we even get to touch the ball again, as they'll throw it to the left-hand side, but it's going to be broken up. Good coverage there on that side of the ball. That's the kind of effort that we need in order to make sure that we finish this game out without any losses on our record. So now 2nd and 10 coming up, and they do set up a wide receiver screen as that man was butt naked open. Could have been a little bit of a like halfback screen in a non-traditional sense, and it really genuinely worked to perfection because we were playing back. So now 1st and 10 again for NIU as they go play action, looking over to the left-hand side, and it's gonna be caught. Wow, wow, wow. That was actually good coverage there, but receiver just happens to make a better play, and now we're scrambling. Now we are definitely scrambling right about now as NIU has been able to move the ball pretty effortlessly here on this first drive of the 3rd quarter. And right now our defense just simply isn't responding right now. We got to lock in here, especially on this 3rd and short. Looking over to the right-hand side and just barely giving up the 1st down there. Trying to respond quickly. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. So now it's a goal line opportunity for the Huskies. Can they punch it into the end zone? Looking to the right-hand side, and we give up yet another touchdown. Porter Lindstrid did not support us on the back end. He was supposed to cover the deep zone. It just was a misunderstood assignment there. So NIU will end up taking an even bigger lead, courtesy of Lonzo Glenn. And ladies and gentlemen, we might be staring down the danger zone right about now, because on our very next drive, we end up going 3 and out ourselves. So dangerous work happening right now here, man, as we see this NIU team on the field once again. And I thought they were going to make that catch there. I thought that was going to be good for a 1st down, but thankfully our guy does break that pass up. As now it's going to be 3rd and 10 for Gibson. They go with a play action, trying to roll to the right-hand side. It's got an open man down the sideline, and it's going to be brought down. Looks like that might be Chris Gentry that might have made that touchdown-saving tackle. We'll have to check after the game, but with that being said, NIU does have another red zone opportunity. Looking over to the right-hand side, and it's going to be a run for Jalen Poe, as Jalen Poe gets him right down by the goal line for this 3rd down opportunity. Gibson looking, facing some pressure, gonna be brought down in the backfield. That was one that we desperately needed. We did not need this game to go into like a 24-point deficit or anything crazy like that. We're still in a rough spot here, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Down by 20 late in the 3rd quarter is still a rough spot. But down by 20 certainly sounds better than being down by 24 right about now. So, big possession here on offense. We have not had a single 1st down yet on this in this 2nd half. And we'll see if we can change that here. And sure enough, look at this space for Chris Gentry. Oh my goodness. That is a man that is wide, butt naked open, and finds the end zone. Touchdown, Bluffton Tech. So not only do we get a 1st down, we get our 1st touchdown here in the 2nd half. And oh, baby, did we desperately needed that. We desperately needed that. Let's see if it gives our defense a little bit of energy to fight a little bit harder, to keep the good fight. And can we finally have somebody open? Oh my goodness. How is a man with that wide butt naked open? I have absolutely no idea, but it's just that kind of day for NIU. They are getting it rolling here, especially in the 2nd half. So Gibson gets to the line quickly. It looks like it's going to be some kind of wide receiver screen. We're all over it, though, as we get our 3rd sack of the game as a team, man. Let's go, baby. It's going to be 2nd and long here now, man, as James Couch Smith is going to make the tackle. And that makes it 3rd and 21. So, really all I ask is just not get beat deep on a 3rd and 21. And they try to do a little bit of wide receiver screen. Not a lot of plays there for 3rd and 21, if we're being real. And that's going to take us into the end of the 2nd quarter. We may be down by multiple possessions, but we might have a little bit of a comeback here brewing if we can make something shake. So here we are at the start of the fourth quarter, and let's go ahead and get back to the running game. We haven't ran the ball very much here in this fourth quarter. We honestly gotten away from that, and that's a shame because if you guys remember from very early on in the ball game, we were running all over this NIU defense, but now we're taking a look around and seeing what we could do here as we try to get some points up on the board quickly. They're in a cover free as we should have the open field going, but we miss our receiver. A bad ball thrown by DJ Armstrong. Should have gone for the first down, but instead we are going to be looking at 2nd and 10. So now Armstrong gets ready to go to work here on this 2nd and 10. We made a tight end out into motion. Trying to throw it to the tight ends. We find Naz Lilia, and Naz Lilia is going to be able to get himself out of bounds. That's that matchup problem that I absolutely love to see. He is so much fun to play with. I think even if like other tight ends like surpass him, I gotta keep him on the field because he's just such a matchup problem like any given time. So let's see if those matchup problems can continue to persist here as we'll try to set up a little bit of rub out. I wanted Naz Lilia again, but he can't hang on to it. Did have the first down, and our coaching staff wants to go for the field goal. Very interesting decision here. We'll go and listen to our coordinators here, but will that kick us in the butt? We'll see. But Tommy White does at least make the field goal. All the credit to him. Maybe just not the belief of, you know, just not picking up that 4th and 5 for whatever reason. But that being said, we're back out onto the field with our defense. And we're just coming out here and see, can we get that stop that we're looking for defensively? We're able to hold them to a field goal last time out. See if we can get something like that here yet again as they're able to. I had man-to-man. Why are we going to chase after the quarterback when we already had it handled? That was just a bonehead decision by that man in coverage there. And it does put NIU in field goal range. But on 3rd and 15, they throw deep to the left-hand side. And that's also going to be completed. So Kyle Thomas is going to make the big-time catch. And on a 3rd and 15, they actually have the audacity to convert it. And if they get a touchdown on this drive here, it's not looking good for us here, chat. This running back is in open space, but at least able to bring him down there. But much closer to the goal line, however. This is going to be 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. They do a motion, and it's actually going to be the quarterback in space. But we quickly close it out. We do end up using one of our timeouts there. And NIU is actually going to go for this here. Rationale is pretty simple. Still going to be 2-possession game if it's a field goal. But if they punch it in, then it's going to be over. And it's not going to be over yet. Our defense is able to stand tall. But here's the problem here, guys. We have 99 yards to go. So a difficult spot for us to be in, especially if we don't get those kind of catches that we're looking for, right? So 3rd and 10 from the 1-yard line here. Not a lot that you can do. Just don't turn the ball over, and that's what we do. Wanted Chris Gentry there over on that corner pattern. We did see the one-on-one, but the corner was just in a much better place. The leverage there was just a lot better. Might have been better served. Maybe Chris Gentry went out to the right-hand side. Either way, DJ Armstrong certainly let us down there. As we're going to be down here by the goal line yet again in a familiar spot. And we are going to be giving up some more yards there on that particular spot as NIU is going to score yet another touchdown. They're disrespectfully close to putting up that 50-burger. And after we played against, how we played against Louisiana, just being able to give up this type of performance is very disappointing for sure. So that being said, down by 17, we're probably... The best thing we can do is we got to play for pride at this point. You know, see if we can make DJ Armstrong's stats look a little bit better because of 50% completion percentage in 2024. I mean, that's some DJU type numbers, and we can't have that. Our quarterback is definitely better than DJU. Even with a day like today, we're still at least able to push the ball downfield, which, again, you know, Florida State, I'm sure really misses that, but That being said, Armstrong's going to drop back. Going to try to throw over the middle. We do not pick up the first down. I thought we were going to have a completion there. It would have been nice to have, but unfortunately that is not going to be the case. We'll see if we can send Naz Lilia maybe out on a little bit of a cross. See what kind of trouble he could cross if he has some time, but he doesn't have the time. Here's the crazy part. He was going to be open. Naz Lilia was going to be open, and that's maybe something that we could take in for later games, like maybe those kind of play sets. Get Naz Lilia on those deep crossers because he is like someone that I do want to get more involved in the future. But yeah, another incompletion thrown there. It's officially 4th and 10. So I don't know what we can do. We'll see if we can do something here or anything. As we had Armstrong, we had a man open. Javon Moore, that might have been Javon Moore or Chris Gentry, doesn't matter. We had a receiver open, just didn't have the time, and that's how the cookie's gonna crumble here. We are going to drop our first game of the season as we lose 48-31. Just a shocking loss from a team that played so well last week. So after coming off of a big win to start things out here in season number 3, we come out here, man, and we laid an egg. We laid an egg as a football team, man, and while our offense was okay, turn the ball over 3 times is not really a winning formula of success. And defensively, it was a whole different story, especially after that first quarter of action. We was essentially cooked as a football team here today. And a big reason why we were cooked as a team is that we just did not take care of the ball the same way as we normally do. We end up going 14 for 31, so Armstrong was not very efficient today at all. And while we did throw for 286 yards and 3 touchdowns, we also threw 3 interceptions too, which is a really difficult pill to swallow. However, for the ground game, Will Peoples was extremely effective on the ground. We had 14 carries for 98 yards on the ground today. I wanted to give him the ball a little bit more, to be honest with you, but because of the game script, we had to get away from running the ball, and that hurt because we were hurting them in the trenches extremely well today. One bright spot in this ball game is Chris Gentry, who once again has an amazing performance. He had caught 3 balls for 154 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Javon Moore on our first drive of the game was also able to find the end zone. He was solid in this one with 4 catches and 48 yards. Defensively, though, we definitely left a lot to be desired here, as Sue Render, one of our players that we brought in for our season 1 recruiting class, he led the team in tackles today with 11 total tackles. Now, his birthday was not too terribly far behind with 10. Now, even though we did give up a ton of points today, we did end up coming out here. We had some bright spots. Ellis Berry, James Couch-Smith, and Cade Bloom, they did all manage to find ways to get sacks today, so at least there's that we can look forward to. And then Vladdy Kolensky on our first defensive drive of the game. It ends up with an interception. It's his 2nd interception of the year. So, there's certainly some positives we can take away. But, we just laid an egg. And simply put, we overlooked Northern Illinois. And even though we are significantly better than when we started this series, at the same time, we still can't overlook anybody, especially at the Heisman difficulty level. And here's the thing, right? Because the big thing about us is that we are taking on a significantly better team in the next episode. So maybe it's just because we are looking forward to playing Toledo at the Glass Bowl as part of that battle of I-75. But with that being said, having a blemish to start the season definitely is a difficult pill to swallow, but at the same time though, we just gotta go ahead, we gotta keep paving it forward, man, as next episode we will have the Battle of I-75, and we have lost our first couple of games in this series, in this particular rivalry game, but this is the most evenly matched that we have been with Toledo since we started this series, so could be our best chance yet to knock off our hated rivals, as they also started the season off 1-1. We'll go ahead and get into that in the next episode, but even though today was a disappointment, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you go ahead and smack that like button. Hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand new to the channel. This is John J. Gaming on the mic signing off, but hope you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.